This is Brent of the Brookbush Institute bringing you guys more strength and performance info. In this video, we're going to do the wobble squat or squat with unstable loads. It just so happens that some research has come out to show that when it comes to motor unit recruitment, when it comes to muscle activity, unstable loads may have a larger effect than unstable environments. I'm gonna have my friend Jeremy come out. He's gonna help me show you guys how to set this up on your squat, and then we're gonna talk about some progressions. So the first thing we're gonna start with is these big, like pull-up assist, or some of you guys know them as monster bands from Serious Steel. We're gonna fold them in half, slip them through the edge of a kettlebell here. And we don't have a whole lot of weight here, guys. I mean, Jay's a pretty big guy at almost 200 pounds. These are 20-pound kettlebells, so don't get overexcited and throw some 50-pound kettlebells on here. It won't work out so well the first time. We're just gonna slide these over a normal squat bar here. Notice that we have some plates on. You can mix weight. So if you're a guy who can do 225 pounds and you wanna try this for the first time, maybe back down to 135, keep your 45s on there, and throw on a couple 20-pound kettlebells and give it a shot and feel it out the first time. You can go ahead and step in. Now Jay's gonna assume his normal squat form. There's nothing special or nothing that changes the form here. I want his feet hip to shoulder width. He's gonna have his feet pointing straight ahead. I'm looking for good tibia torso angle. And he's gonna start off nice and slow to start. So one thing about these wobbly squats, guys, you have to keep in mind is the faster you move, the more this is gonna wobble. The first few times out, I would definitely suggest a nice slow countdown. You notice Jay's doing a 2-second count here. Maybe we could even slow it down a little bit more. Let's try a 4-second countdown. 4, 3, 2, and hold down there. Oh, let's make it real hard, come on. And then back up. Good, so maybe I'll use some of that stability endurance tempo marking, right? Since this is more of a stability type exercise. How does that feel?
Feels good.
All right, let's try one more. One thing you guys might notice as you do this is it's really hard to get out of the bottom with this type of setup. And part of what you're trying to overcome is as you go down and try to stand back up, you have to overcome the momentum you've created. With these weights, they continue to descend because the band has some elasticity on it. So that lengthens your amortization phase, which is generally speaking the toughest portion of any exercise. You can go ahead and rack that for a second. All right guys, now as you can imagine, we can kind of progress in a few different directions here. I could add weight, or I could add more stable weight. So we can go in either direction that way. But let's think for a second. If we're working on unstable environments, I want increased motor unit recruitment. I want Jay working essentially on balance and proprioception. Maybe the way to go is not increase the load on the squat, but start thinking about how I can make this more dynamic. I can start making it more unilateral. I can start, in Jay's case, since he's a basketball player, move it more towards functional of sport. So let's try a reverse lunge. And guys, this isn't a small progression, because now not only do we have a vertical trajectory for the load, but he actually has some horizontal trajectory, which means these weights are gonna start swinging on him. All right, and left glute, boom. Good, stand up, stay there for a second, get stable again. First couple times out, guys, don't be in a rush. All right, let's try the other leg. The reason I like reverse lunges as our first progression, guys, is essentially your reverse lunge should look like your squat with a kickstand. So the leg that's in front, I should still have my nice tibia torso angle. Everything should set up very similar. He just has this little kickstand that he's using that he's stepping back into. Now, of course, as he's coming back up, I want him to make sure he's going through the front leg glute, right? So he should be thrusting his right hip forward now. Right, and then as he steps back with his right, he's gonna thrust forward with his left hip, and you can go ahead and relax there, Jay, nice job. That's not easy, guys. That takes a lot of practice, and as Jay and I have found out working out together, the first time we did this, one set made us so ridiculously sore for so many days. Like 3 or 4 days, our legs were killing. So when you bring this into your routine, I want you guys to be very careful with not only the amount of load that you use, so back off just a little bit, right? But also be careful with your volume. There's nothing special about 3 sets, guys. If we talk about, you know, the average, or not even the average, your range for volume for the lower extremity that you can actually adapt to is 1 to 8 sets, start with 1. You can always do 2 the next time if you weren't sore. If you're going to be working on these for 4 or 5 weeks, right, you can keep increasing not only weight, not only reps, but sets as well. For those of you guys who are a little gun shy about the blocked periodization models, I know some of you guys love max strength training. You love hypertrophy training, and you seem to hate stability endurance training, right? You think somehow you're going to lose your gains, which that's not true, but I'm going to give you this little test. Just try this one thing for me. Let's say you're stuck at 185 pounds on your squat. Here's what I want you to try. I want you to go down to 135 with 10-pound kettlebells. I then want you to spend 4 weeks working your way back up to a total of 185 pounds again, but with 25 of it being the kettlebell, or as close to 25 as you can get, right? 25 on each side. Tell me if that progression back up to 185, when you then go back to a solid plate 185, doesn't feel a whole lot easier. And guys, in a nutshell, that little experiment, which you can try, right? I always recommend assess, try your intervention and reassess. Try this little experiment. If that doesn't work for you, okay, you can call me a liar when it comes to this helping your performance. But I think you guys will find if you can replace some of your weight with wobbly weight, once you go back to stable weight, it's gonna feel really light. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave any questions you have in the comments box below. I'll get right to answering them.